Jesse Parley here with Amanda Sanchez-Ruiz. So Amanda, I wasn't a part of your first interview here.
That's right.
I know that you did one.
I did.
You were roughly a week or two into this process.
That is correct.
Big picture. Talk to me a little bit about what's changed for you since then.
Yeah, so I think the biggest thing would be confidence. Started just doing what I was told, dialing appointments and setting more than 5 or aiming for 5 or more appointments a day and just going to the appointments. I mean, a lot of times you'll get scared.
Yeah, I mean, talk a little bit about that. I mean, your experience in sort of your appointments now, looking back, you said at this point you're almost 2 months in.
Correct.
Right? I mean, what you can remember, think back, I mean, walking into a home and your process versus what your process would have been day one.
Right. So I've been in the insurance field for a while. I will say going into home was not something new to me. But the whole concept of it now was just really easy. I mean, I was mind blown as to the people request information, you go out there, you sell them what they want, and you just keep going.
Okay.
And so just a confidence, really just actually going out there and getting it done and, not being scared if it's a late appointment by yourself. I mean, you just do it. The numbers add up, and it's great.
There's a difference going out there and downtown
making
Dallas
the money
as a 6'5" white guy as opposed to a smaller female.
Correct. I will say the money. I mean, it keeps coming in, so it makes you want to work harder. It makes you want to book more appointments, go out to more houses, door knock. I mean, whatever gets the job done. Mm-hmm.
So talk a little bit. What are you doing now, if anything? What's different than what you were doing?
So now, more money on leads. I will say I'm spending a little bit more money on leads, booking higher stronger appointments.
Okay.
So I make sure that if I'm booking it, they know I'm coming. It's not too flaky or anything. Different phone approach, correct. I am a little bit smoother on the phone. At first, I was very aggressive, but that had to do with my previous company, where it was you booked whatever you had. I mean, if you could get them on the phone, you booked them.
So go into a little bit of detail on that, right? Where do you find yourself focusing on being more direct or more specific on things with your appointment setting? Yeah,
so I verify that they requested this and that they put down their information as this. They stated their address as this, their date of birth. Verify all of that they stated that information. And then as far as what I do to confirm the appointment, I tell them, hey, I verify myself with my state license within the state of Texas. So I'll actually pull that out for you and drive a black Honda Civic, and I'll laugh here and there to make them
make sure they know you're coming out in person.
Correct, and that I'm human, and they I can speak to you. I'm not just a scam, and that's really made the job a little bit easier.
What types of leads are you running? Are you running a combination of things, or are you running something specific?
Combination. So I'm doing instant. Whenever I can get some instant. Dallas is just getting eaten up right now. Or mortgage protection. I really enjoy mortgage.
What's your favorite?
Mortgage. All the way, yeah.
Okay.
I love it. I like mortgage. It's a little bit more into details, but people need it and they understand it. And whenever you understand the background to it, it's great.
For sure. So we're ballparking you at somewhere between 6 and 8 weeks here.
Correct.
What's been your best week so far?
It was like 9,700, like 300 short from 10K.
Okay.
So it was great.
Not a bad week.
Not a bad week.
Not a bad month in some places.
Yeah, I had my first full month, 30K. It was my first full month and I hit 30K, which was
excellent.
Yeah, it was awesome.
So now you got your baseline.
Oh, yeah. I
nowhere but up from there.
No, I definitely know. I mean, if I don't hit 10K a week or, ballparking around there, it's not going to be a 30K month and something I failed on. So it's either a vacation or I wasn't working a few days just because the numbers add up and it really doesn't make sense to not make that money.
Sure. So let's take a slightly different approach to kind of what you're doing. So you've got a couple agents actually that you're hired or hiring at the moment. Tell me a little bit. I mean, what is it that your experience here is one thing. What are you presenting to them as, sort of the experience for them, right? Some people have different wants or needs from things.
Correct.
How are you kind of making that happen, building your team?
Yeah, so I think what's really made the difference is people watch you in silence. I mean, people will watch you, observe you, watch every move you're doing. My thing is I went from a corporate company to a different company to now here. And that change has been seen by quite a few people. I will say that just me posting, top producer or just posting the numbers and having people do their own research. I always let people know, do your own research, and I send the YouTube Family First Life, and they just watch all of the ones that are intriguing. I mean, whoever likes information is going to do their own research.
Yeah, for sure.
it's one of those things that it's just the information's out there. You just have to look into it.
Yeah.
And when people see that I did 10K a week, I mean, I'll get questions. Hey, what are you doing? They actually saw me bring aboard my boyfriend. And so at my other company, they were begging for him to come. And, I just didn't trust it. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't a promised income. I couldn't promise him that his apartment was going to be paid that month if he came to my other company.
Let's talk about it. Gerardo, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Right. So you guys, he's week 2?
Week 2. Mm-hmm.
Right. What sort of advantages, what are you guys excited about doing this together?
Honestly, growing the company. I mean, it's, like I said, numbers are to be made. It's something that if you don't make that amount, you failed one way or the other. And it could be just you got lazy or got whatever. So really just growing the company, going within our business, given the opportunity. It's not really much being selfish. It's just if I make money, you can make money. Therefore, why are you not going to give the opportunity to other people to make $10,000 a week? I mean, we're pretty young, and I've seen people from 18 years old to, 41 get the job done, and anyone can do it. Bilingual, English, Spanish. I mean, it's doable.
Yeah, for sure. Talk to me a little bit. I mean, less FFL specific per se, right? But what is it that led you to the industry? What do you like about doing here? What makes you happy about doing this? Yeah,
so I came from a big corporate company, and I was getting paid $30 per life policy. And that's it, $30. And I was selling bigger policy, $100,000, $200,000 whole life, meaning premiums over $100 monthly, no matter what.
Sure.
$30 was all I was getting paid. And then when I looked into it, I saw that you could get, with my old company, a little bit more. And I was like, okay, hold on. I've been stolen. My money has been stolen quite, largely. And so that really brought me to awareness as to I'm making other people money versus my money. And I was making really good sales, but I just wasn't getting paid for it. Then after the other company, I started to realize the leads sucked. I mean, it was just, I didn't know if insurance was for me or not.
Okay.
It didn't make sense. And I went to college, and I'm still going and everything, but I like insurance. It's just I don't feel comfortable paying other people, if I were to be an agent owner, $40,000 cap. But I wanted to become some type of agency owner.
Okay.
Looked into FFL, didn't believe it because the numbers looked way too good. And then I started to do my own research. I would ask everybody online. I would go on Instagram, message people, hey, are you an FFL? And I would message the underdogs, not the top dogs, the big names, none of those. I would go a little bit more into more research and try to message anyone who I knew, hey, how's FFL? Is it good money? And every single person would tell me yes.
Okay.
It's definitely worth it. And that's when I looked into it a little bit more. And then finally I just got fed up of not making money. I mean, I was just not getting the bills paid. I was, but paycheck to paycheck, and I was I was working in insurance. And insurance, you can make so much money, but I wasn't seeing that money.
Okay.
And so moved to FFL, made like $5,000-6,000 my first week, and then I was mind blown. I mean, yeah.
So talk to me for a second, right? So like I have my own story, right? Like for me, I was not always in insurance. I'm now approaching year 5. My belief in this industry is from personal experience. My dad passed away when I was young. You're how old?
22.
My dad passed away when I was 25.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Right. So thankfully had some life insurance in place. And while I didn't necessarily get propelled into the industry because of that, years later when I ended up here, like I have the belief, right? I've been a beneficiary.
Correct.
So I know that it's valuable.
Right.
Right. From experience on the other side. So that's sort of a driving force. Like I enjoy this because I know when the time comes, right, it's helping families.
Right.
Money is great. Everyone likes to get paid, and as you've gone through, like it can happen pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Right. And it's can be a big difference from where you've been beforehand.
Correct.
What is it? I mean, whether you want to talk FFL specific, whether you just want to talk the industry, right? Like where do you get your joy from this aside from finances?
I will say it's a lot of times when I'm running into an appointment, I'm not really worried about how much money I'm going to make. It's more as to what am I going to educate these people with. Insurance is really sticky. Most people don't understand it, but it's really not that complicated. And so stepping into a household and having them understand whole life term, what it means, what is the reason behind getting it, especially if they have children or, an experience that did cause them to wake up. I love it. I love educating people. I love telling them, hey, this is why you need it. I mean, think about it. We have phone insurance on our phone, on our house, on our auto, but we don't protect ourselves. And that's the most basic concept I go into. Why do you pay for auto insurance, but you don't have insurance on yourself?
It's funny. Like my wife always laughs, right? I get home from an appointment, or I call her after an appointment, and like it's one of two outcomes. I'm like, yeah, like that guy was great, like, or they were great, like they made such a good decision, like they chose what I would have, if I had to pick one for them, they chose what I would have chosen. Like, I'm so happy they made the right decision, and like, I got a sale out of it, right? Or it's the other side. I'm like, that guy was so dumb. Like, we went through everything, showed him, like, basically he showed me by answering his questions, like, where everything made sense and why he should go with this one. And then at the end, it was just like, like, I think we're just not going to do anything. Yeah. And I'm like, that guy made the dumbest, I'm just like, I walked out of there and I'm like, I don't know what you're doing. Like, something happened.
It's like that feedback that you get back.
And my wife's like, you either like everyone or you hate everyone. Right. And I'm like, yeah, 100%. Right. Right. But like, when the person makes the right decision from everything, right? You sit down, you go through where they've got coverage, where they've got holes, where they could use some help, and then they make the right choice. You feel so good that you've done your job right. Correct. To the point where they see it, right, and then they make the right choice for themselves. And I also say, like, it sounds weird to say it this way. Right? Unfortunately, I've had it happen more than a few times this past year. But like when you get a call that there's a death claim, right, and it's a family member saying, like, how do we process this? Right. Yeah, it feels terrible at first, like they just lost a family member. But to some degree, it's also a good call. It makes me feel good that
you did your job.
Actually, we got them that protection, and now it's about to do its play its part.
Purpose. Yeah, I do agree. I will say every time I've asked people in home, hey, if you need life insurance, where do you go? Because they question, why do I get so many phone calls? And I tell them simply the purpose, you need auto insurance, you go to the big companies. You need mortgage insurance, you go to the same auto insurance. As far as life insurance, there's not a building that you step into and know that you can identify this is where I get life insurance.
For sure.
Not only that, but you get kicked out the box if you have ABC health factors. Right. I mean, then they leave you outside and you can't get anything. And so us going in there with multiple carriers, I say, well, it's huge. And no urine, no physical, no blood. I mean, they love it. They just want to get approved.
You never walk in empty-handed. Right. Right. Whether it's actually what they want to take or not, you're always able to show someone an option they should qualify for.
Correct. Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, and it's so easy because, I mean, people are willing to listen to your information. And you're just educating them and giving them the service that they requested.
If you were to sort of leave this with, some thoughts on if someone is listening to this for the first time or is following you along from, like you said,
quite a while.
the silent watchers.
There you go.
Right? Like, what do you want them to know about this opportunity that sort of you think makes it for everybody?
Yeah, I will say just kind of stepping back and to not be loyal to companies who tell you it's going to get better, or, if you just work harder. There's so much more to the industry, and Family First Life has created that. I hear it all the time. It's too good to be true. Something's wrong. There's, scam going on behind. The IRS is going to come back. I hear it all the time, and it's just, you dial, you do the job, you go to your appointments, you make the money.
For sure.
And it's the simple service. I mean, it's quit being loyal and just take a look, have a conversation. I will say it does take a little bit to drop your ego and just reach out. Just reach out, ask your questions, and ask for bank statements. I mean, we're going to keep it that, blunt.
All right. If anyone listening to this wants to work with you, wants to ask you questions, how do they get a hold of you?
Probably my Instagram, so it'd be Amanda Sanchez-Ruiz, so my full Instagram name.
All right.